Alright, y'all boys, so today we're back on some skate, you know what I'm saying? I figured I'd hop on here and just go ahead and create a little video, talk about, how life going, how I'm feeling and shit. And basically today's main video and topic is, you know what I'm saying, not feeling enough, or just, having someone tell you you're not enough is like one of the worst things you can hear, especially from like a partner, Like if someone you love, someone you spend time with, you spend like maybe a year with them or maybe even a couple of months, but you get so attached, and then just to hear the saying of like, yo, you're changed, or you're not acting the same as I like met you, and that kind of shit, like, it affects you in the long run, because you always think in the end like, well, what if I did change? What if maybe I was doing good, but maybe I got off track, and maybe now I'm doing something wrong, and it's just like it's words that will always like that will hurt you. But I constantly gotta worry if now if I'm making someone mad, or if I'm making someone angry, if I'm doing something like that, and nowadays I just feel bad and shit, like I always find myself like in my head apologizing after shit like that. And I don't know, bro, it's just hard, because like, especially when they call you controlling and shit, bro, it's like, it's just so much words like that that can really hurt you. Like, yo, you're controlling, you always control me, you do this and that, and they call you controlling, and then they saying you're changed, and then that really gives you an out view of yourself, like, yo, am I really this horrible person that they like tell me that I am, or explain me to be, And it's crazy, because every time like I've been told I've changed, I've always asked like, yo, well, if I really did change, then tell me, like, how, like, what happened, what happened during that process of where it went wrong, and I'd start begging, I'd be like, yo, I'll fix it, just tell me what's wrong, tell me what's wrong. But eventually I realized that, you know that it's nothing, again, it's nothing wrong with you, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's nothing wrong with you. And but yeah, just like a lot of times I would find myself like in my head and like questioning, and I'd be like, even after those words were said, maybe she did say sorry, and maybe she's like, yo, what I'm saying, I didn't mean to say that, which is, understandable. But when it happens more than once, and when it's said over and over, and it's said like, subtle hints, or, something like that, then that's when like, there's some hidden animosity, or there's something going on in the relationship that shouldn't be. And that's how I knew that, it was gonna end. So I mean, it's pretty easy to understand. You get signs, and when stuff's gonna um, happen. So, you know, obviously, I wanted to be with her. I wanted to, do things. We were together for like 2 years, and like when you spend like so much time with someone you love like that, like throughout high school, and then at the end of high school, and just, you thought it was gonna be like some type of like story, but you just like find yourself in delusion and shit. But yeah, today's video, I just basically want to say, like, if someone tells you you're not enough, or someone says like, bro, you're changed, or you know maybe like it's not you, bro. Maybe it's just not you. Don't always look at yourself as a problem, because that's a bad thing I have. I always look at everything as like something will happen and I'll blame myself. Something will happen and I'll say sorry. Something will happen, and I have to say something. And I hate that I'm like that, but maybe that's what makes me like a good person, I guess. I don't know. I think one of the things that hurt me the most, though, is when we did break up. One time, she sent me a picture, and she was like laying with a guy and stuff. And I think that's the point where it really did break me, because I just I don't know how to deal with that. Like, I don't know how to deal with that type of betrayal. Like, at the end of the day, like, I always like ask, like, what did I do wrong? Like, why did she have to cheat on me? Why did she have to go see another guy? And I'm still blaming myself, even though these aren't like my doings. Like, why do I think I'm always wrong for something? Like, it don't make sense. I mean, but I guess it happens to all of us. Like, you could be saying like, bro, bad love happens to all of us. You know what I'm saying? But it's just more. It's more than that. It's not really love. Like, I don't care about love, bro. I could be single for the next like 16 years. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with love. It's to do with how do I how do how do I fix wanting love? How do I fix that? Because I want love, but I know I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So how do I fix that? It's kind of hard to explain, and it might not make sense. But if you really think about it, bro, like, just try to like, like, I like being alone, but like I don't want to be alone. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like such a weird feeling. But it's like you want to be alone, but like you don't want to be alone at the same time. You want someone to relate to. You want someone to, you play games, watch movies with, or just fucking talk to, bro. Like, I feel like that's what love is, bro. Just like understanding each other, bro. Just fucking talking when you get bored, you know, connecting with each other. It's nothing about like, sex or anything, money, nothing about that, bro. But how do you find that? Like, it's such a hard thing to find nowadays. Cause like, I'm telling y'all, every single relationship I've been in, been cheated on, bro. I'm telling you that for real. Like, I'm not even fucking joking. So how the like, I question like, what am I like? What the fuck do I do? You know? And one of the worst things is when you see your ex or you see the person you love moving on like so much faster you know, than you guys break up and not even a week later you see her post it up, posting on Instagram and shit, and you know, like sure you could just brush it to the side and be like, all right, that's a hoe, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But at the same time, bro, you spent like so long with her, you know everything about her, you spent every night with her, and now that is gone. Just in a click, just in one night, that thing is gone. That's something like how do you deal with that? Like it's something hard to deal with. Someone you text every morning, good morning. Someone text the paragraphs to, you know what I'm saying? And someone you had there is a person that you never had, you know? Like especially like not growing up, having family, you're gonna get way closer attached to, a significant other or someone that you love. And when they leave, it's gonna feel like you're losing like family, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna feel like you're losing like a part of someone you like love, and someone, and then you just see them, you see their true colors though, you see them, after you see them go to another person so fast, and then you start to question, well, that whole time we were together, did she really really cares as much as I thought she did? Like, did she really care, or was it like just a facade? Was it like a, something else? Is like they'll always bring up stuff that like they'll always bring up things that were never talked about initially, like you'll get into arguments and you'll find out their true motives like a couple months or maybe even a year later, bro. But what I mean is like, like she'll bring up stuff like she never even mentioned, but then she'll be like, I can't believe you're a person who does this and like, smokes weed and does this, and you're such a person who does this, and I don't want my kids to be influenced by this. And I'm like, what? Like, this was never even brought up. This is never even a thing until we started having this animosity, until we started having this, um, until we started having this, like, drama. And so it's just confusing how there's so much animosity and love. Like, if you just have something to say it in the beginning. If you have something you want to say it. I hate when people hold things back. Like, it's such like an annoying thing. Like, if you're gonna say something and tell them how you feel. That's what love is. Love is not hide what you feel and just play the love game. Let's wait a year and then we're gonna fucking break up. That's not how that works. You have to communicate with your partner. You have to be open with them. And so just hitting animosity and shit like that is what made me like this. It just gets in my head a lot, bro. Because I thought everything was good in my head. A plus, shit was going good. But in her head, I guess shit was going C minus, bro. Like, I don't really know. It's hard to explain, but and it just happened so many times. Like, it's not even the first time. It's like just over and over and over. It's like so predictable. It's like honestly, this the most predictable thing in the fucking world. And what's just crazy to me is like, I'm just gonna leave the video off after this, but just the craziest part to me, is how, like I said, just they can move on so fast. Like, it's just so crazy. Cause I remember like it was a block. It wasn't even a simple text. It wasn't even a, what I'm saying, it wasn't even a boom boom boom. It was just a, I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm blocked. You know what I'm saying? So like it just felt like so many years, so many months was just ripped out of my life. I wasted those years for what? I could have been doing something. I could have got hella money. I could have, probably found another girl, bro. But the whole time was wasted, gone, just in one night. That's just crazy to think about to me, bro. And it's just something so hard to grasp. Like, I just, I just wish I could have had like a explanation or a reason, or, even if it was like, I just don't like you anymore. Like, that would have been better than like nothing. Because now I find like I have to think, I have to fill in that question with my own answers, and that's not really good. So maybe one day I'll get a reason. Maybe she'll text me, and maybe one day I might not even get a reason. Who knows? But I guess I'll figure out the problem. um I don't know if I'm the problem. Maybe love's the problem. Maybe I just need to stop focusing on love, and maybe I need to move on to doing something else I love, and focus on something else. But it's hard. It's hard. But yeah, man, I'll see you boys. Figure I'd come on here, explain what I'm feeling. Best way to vent is to just play some fucking games and talk out loud to yourself. So, you know, if anyone else feels like this, let me know that in the comments. You know, I mean, I find it hard, but it's just you got to get through it. Fuck it, you know. So, yeah. See y'all boys later though. Maybe I'll be back with another video.